We're with Mississippi Valley State head men's basketball coach, Coach Andre Payne, going into his third year of the basketball coach at Valley State. Coach, getting ready for the SWAC basketball season. Talk about the grind and the pre-conference schedule.
Well, once again, another tough year on the road, playing some of the top teams in the nation. Of course, we had probably the hardest schedule in Division I for his non-conference. Took a lot of bumps, a lot of bruises. Now it's about trying to heal up those bumps and bruises, and the only thing that can heal them up is going into the SWAC and taking your first win.
Talk about the new additions to your basketball team, the newcomers.
Well, we got quite a few newcomers. One of the biggest impact player is Darrell Riley, who's a little point guard out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He's averaging about 9 points, about 4 assists. Look for him to probably boost that up in conference to about 15 points a game. Because I feel like if he did that against people like Indiana and West Virginia, surely he can boost it up in conference. Amos Gavon, who's a strong force, basically a 6'3" slasher, power forward kid that definitely can handle his own against any big guy and much too strong for any guard. We're looking for a lot out of those two there.
Coach, anybody new to your coaching staff?
No, everybody pretty much the same. We do have a new graduate assistant, Jaquay Walls, who brings in ample amount of experience. He's been a head high school coach. He's been a junior college coach at Navarro, where he's one of the top junior college programs in the nation. And one of the biggest things, he played big-time ball at Colorado and also was drafted by the Indiana Pacers in the second round. So he brings a lot of experience with him.
Getting ready for the SWAC season, that's what it's about in the first 13 ball games. What kind of grind was it out there playing on the road all the ball games?
It's tough. It's tough because the guys had to learn how to take care of their bodies, learn how to take care of homework assignments and things on the road. It's just tough. You're changing time zone 2 or 3 times in one day. Also, you're in an environment where maybe 20,000 fans and only 5 or 10 other fans there are yours. So you have to learn how to be a family when you're out on the road like that.
What you learn about this team to say, well, hey, I like this or I don't like that. We need to improve on this in the overall team scope, not just on the floor.
Well, the intensity of playing hard, this team does do that, as my teams in the past. We got a few more options of scoring this year than we had in the past. The only thing that I kind of get worried about this team is carrying out instructions from each and every play. Sometimes we make a mistake and somebody go into a mental lapse, which can cost you very big.
This is midway your third year. Only thing left here is the SWAC basketball season, which is very big. Talking about going into the third year, this team taking the identity and shaping up as you want it to be.
Yes, definitely is they're taking a formation and shape of how I want it to be. I would love to have still a stronger post game than I have now. We just have not found those post players that can play back to the basket. This year we did at least get a couple athletic guys that can run the floor and block a shot and get a rebound, but for just putting their back to the basket and finishing, that's one of our biggest problems. And that's what we actually count on Amos Gavon a lot to do that, because he's our best back to the basket finisher.
Coach, talk about your numbers, including the guys coming off the bench that would contribute to your play.
Well, this year we have more numbers that can come off the bench and score for us offensively. You're talking about where last year there were only probably 2 guys who can score. I feel confident this year we got at least 4 guys that can score consistently, and that's going to help tremendously. With regaining Marcus back, now he's back. Now we got surrounding him with guys who can put up 14 or 15 points. 3 other guys. That's going to be helpful.
Your team leader this year?
The team leader so far has been Rashawn Sewers. After Marcus Romaine was suspended those games, and Rashawn really stepped up. He went from averaging 6 points while Marcus was here to averaging almost 10 points a game. So he really stepped up. He even had a career high of 26 one night.
The new year's going to be good to you, Coach, bringing in your brand new arena. What is it like playing at home for the first time since you've been coaching here?
Oh, man, it's going to be excellent. Just the mere fact that we have 6 goals to shoot at, that we don't have to travel to practice, that the guys can go get dressed in the locker room and come around the corner and be on the gym floor. Those things that make a huge difference. We got a brand new shoot away so guys can get up more shots. All the little things that people don't think about makes a huge difference in your program.
Arkansas, Pine Bluff, first up on the road. How important is that basketball game?
Very important because, you know, they've took a lot of bumps and bruises themselves. I think they may be 1-12. So, you know, it's one of those games where both coaches want to try to shake off some of these beatings that we've taken, and want to shake off that spirit of, because I mean it gets to the guys mentally. You know, you can't sugarcoat it. And if you can get that win, now your guys mentally saying, "Oh, okay, this is what Coach been preaching about."
Coach, talk about the new SWAC format in terms of the tournament. The top 8 teams will go. The top 4 will host the next 4. Talk about that format. You like it? Don't like it?
It's not one of my favorite format because I always say you never know what can happen. So 75-80% of the teams in the SWAC play a tough schedule, non-conference schedule like we do, and then all of a sudden you're in conference. You know, you could lose a kid for 4 games and lose those 4 games, and it's hard to bounce back from that. And now you're out of the conference tournament. Now this kid come back, and now you don't get that kid an opportunity to get in the conference tournament and make some things happen. So that's the most difficult part of it, not taking all 10 teams. I feel like we should take all 10 because all those teams deserve to get in there, get themselves a shot, one last chance.
Okay. Coach, thanks an awful lot. Appreciate your time. Good luck on the season, too.
I appreciate it.